When I started, I actually was a financial advisor. Are there any financial advisors in the room? I know Colette is here. Okay, great. Okay, great. So before I was a financial advisor, I was actually a singer-songwriter. So what did I have to do? Going from singer-songwriter to financial advisor, what did I have to do? Exactly. There was a lot of stretching going on. I had to call people. I actually had to make a list of 100 people I knew, and then after they got my albums that had lots of amazing cynical love songs, I was like, hey, you want to meet? Because I'm going to totally show you how to manage your money. Trust me, I know I was a broke musician last week, but trust me, I'm fine. When you're a struggling musician, it's okay to be broke. When you become a financial advisor, not so cool. I'm like talking to my mom's cousin, hey, are you sure you don't want to roll that 401k? So it was a little awkward to say the least. I really had to stretch, to make calls, to call people. I felt stupid. I felt like I didn't know what I was doing. I felt like people didn't believe me that I was an expert, and I was just stretching, and I was stretching, and I was stretching. And I kept getting pushed back because it was tough. And I was finally at a point where I made $2,000 a month. Living in San Francisco, and I was really good at getting into debt as a financial advisor. So I totally felt like a fraud. I felt really incongruent. I felt like I was doing something wrong, even though my intention was just to serve. I really badly wanted to help people. That's why I actually left being a singer-songwriter to become a financial advisor. So I was smart enough to know I had to find a way. I couldn't do it on my own. I had to stretch. And I actually went to this event. I saw this guy speak, and I was like, wow, he was like 28, 29 years old, making millions of dollars. And not only that, but he was helping other people make a lot of money. And I was like, wow, this is amazing. And of course, like, he was intriguing and impactful, and it wasn't just about the money. So I was like, wow, I really need to hire this guy. Problem was, I had already worked with a few coaches. Like, I was like, okay, I have these money types, and my money type is called a cheap chip. You can imagine what a cheap chip is like. I don't like to spend money. I'm scared of spending money, and so I didn't want to spend money on a coach, but I did. But I hired the cheapest coach possible. But then I didn't get the result. You know, it was like, hold me accountable. Did you do the stuff? No. Why not? Because I'm stupid? I don't know. Do it. Okay. But then I hired him, and I got systems, and then I started getting results. But it was very, very stretchy. I had to invest money I did not have. Thank you, credit cards. We all love these credit cards, don't we? It's very good for businesses. So I had to invest in money I didn't have, and it was way beyond. I mean, I was only making $2,000 a month, and his fee was basically close to that. So I had to stretch. Now, what happened was it worked. That was awesome because I was stretching. And so I learned the systems because I didn't know how to sell, or I didn't know what to say when I made a call or something like that. I didn't know what to do when I went to a networking event. All these things that feel so hard. You guys try so hard to get clients. You work so hard, but you don't know exactly what to say. You don't know the system. This is what happened to me. And then it doesn't work. You're doing the hard work. How many of you work hard? Yeah, that's not the issue, right? It's like you guys are very hard workers, but actually getting the result isn't always happening as fast as we want it. And we're very, very impatient about it as well, right? So I hired him, and I started to increase my fee. I actually had a financial plan. I went from $500 to $1,000 to $1,500. I started going up all the way to $9,000. And after just under 18 months, I was able to break $100,000 a year. Like, that's kind of cool, right? I need a sign like in the TV, like it's like, clap now, celebrate now, give her some love. Okay, cool. I thought that was pretty cool. So what did I do? I'm like, oh, cool, I'm good. Now take out your rubber bands if you have them for a sec. Let me see these. Can you come up for a sec? Sure. What's your name? Vicky. Okay, hold your rubber band up. Okay. Guess what? Mine is bigger than hers. Okay, good. I know there are very few guys in the room, but guys, I'm not saying size matters. I'm just saying mine is bigger than hers. So it's because I've been stretching. I'm not saying you guys should start stretching it, by the way. I don't know how it got there, but it did. But I've been stretching it. So what happens when you stretch, when you stretch? I want you to imagine this as your comfort zone, okay? So if this rubber band right here represents your comfort zone, then everything you want that you don't already have lies outside that. Otherwise, you'd already have it. Now, there are things that I had when I first started, Like I started making some money. So those things, if they weren't in my comfort zone, because they weren't, I stretched enough, and then I hired Jeff, I stretched some more, and it got big enough, so these things started to happen. So I was making about $2,000 a month. It wasn't enough. But then I got to $100,000, and I'm like, okay, I'm comfortable. When you stretch enough and you get comfortable, oftentimes you stop stretching. Then what happens? What happens? It actually doesn't shrink much, but what happens is you still have all these things outside your comfort zone that you want, but you can't get it. You can't get it because you're not stretching anymore. So everything is out there. Like I got some things, but then what happens in a way, I think you're right. It's not like your comfort zone doesn't shrink, but the effects of the comfort zone shrinks, right? And I think that's what you mean. So it's like what happened was my income started going down, down, down. I was focusing on the wrong things. I was not stretching. I was getting distracted. I was doing lots of busy work. Right? I was working very hard, going networking, I was creating products, things like that. I was like, oh, I got to create things. And I got distracted. I'm like, shiny penny, oh my God, go over there. Oh my gosh, squirrel, right? Get that. I was so distracted, and then my income went all the way down. My revenue went all the way down to $500 a year in my money coaching business. That's when we go, oh, I can teach you how to do that. But I won't. But luckily, 2 years later, I was able to go to $500,000 a year. And the reason I was able to do that was because I stretched. And the biggest stretch, again, was hiring my coach, and then I hired more coaches, actually Facebook consultants, all these things. I was like, I'm going to do this because I have to make the impact. And I stretched, and I stretched, and I stretched, and I finally started getting what I want. Now it's like I can do, I wouldn't say anything, but things don't scare me very much. Not like they used to. Okay? And it's because I had to stretch. So how many of you are willing to stretch today? Say yes? Yes. Okay, great. I need one volunteer. Someone that's a little bit, okay, run up here. Give her a big hand, So all of you agree we should stretch, correct? Yes. Okay, what's your name? Nicole. What do you do, Nicole?
I'm a Rodan and Fields consultant.
Rodan and Fields, very good. Your skin looks amazing. Okay, so come over here so you're not blocking the screen. Stay right there. Okay. Just kidding. So why don't we stretch? How you feeling? Tell me your name one more time. Keep doing it. Nicole. I always said Nicole. That would be easy because of Nicole. Okay. Why don't we stretch? Nicole, why do you think we don't stretch?
I'm afraid this band is going to snap.
You're afraid it's going to snap. What's going to happen if it does snap?
It's going to hurt me.
It's going to hurt. Okay, absolutely. It will hurt, but I won't snap it.
Thank
okay.
you.
So that's why we got to stretch. Okay, hold on one second. Okay, now tell me for a sec. Let me go over here.
Okay.
Actually, you can hold that a sec. So we're afraid of the pain, right? But it's actually a little bit of the anticipation of the pain. In fact, let me show you something before I ask you this. I have this thing. Are you afraid of this?
No.
Wait. Hold on. Okay, seriously, are you afraid of this?
No.
Okay, how about now?
No.
Okay, why not?
Because it's soft.
It's soft. Well, when I was a kid, my brother used to chase me around and snap it. And I still can't snap it for the life of me. He would chase me around with this, and I'd run around the house. I was so scared because he was going to get me, and he would get me, and he would snap it, and he would sometimes punch me as well. I was an abuser. But he, he's a big brother. He did that, and finally, I was so fed up because I was so scared. It was like, what, is it going to be around this corner? Oh my God, he's going to get me. And then he would get me, and I was like, okay, that hurt, but it was like waiting for the anticipation of it and afraid of it. And finally, I was like, I'm going to stand up to him. And I sat down on the couch. I put my legs up, and he basically came by, and I thought, oh, he'll probably stop, right? No, he just whipped me. And I was like, ow, ow, ow. It left a few marks, only for a day or two. It was fine. But then, eventually, he stopped, and I let go of it, and I wasn't afraid of it anymore. Just kidding. So I surrendered to it. So Nicole, what is something right now that is outside your comfort zone that you would like?
Being here with you in front of all these people.
Guess what? She didn't. Give her a hand for that. So she just proved to herself, this is a great muscle memory, she just proved to herself that she's actually stretching. Come a little closer because I feel like we're so far away. Give me something that you want in your business. Come away from the something you want in your business that you know is outside your comfort zone. It might be right here. It might be way over here. It might be on another page in another room. What's something that's outside your comfort zone?
Reaching a certain level in my business.
Okay, can we talk money?
Yes.
Okay, how much per month or per year or whatever?
10,000.
$10,000 a month. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So let's say $10,000 a month is over here.
Yes.
All right. Now, I want to tell you that for some people, $10,000 a month might be here, but your comfort zone might be this big. Some people, their comfort zone might be this big. And let me just ask you this. What's one thing you think you might have to do in order to do this that's really outside your comfort zone?
Really put away some of my insecurities.
Okay, she's going to put away her insecurities. Let's take a box, put in the insecurities, wrap it up, tie in a bow, put it in the closet. All right? Okay, what is something specific that you have to do? Like make calls, post on social media, do a Facebook Live. What's something that freaks you the F out that you know you got to do that's way outside your comfort zone? Ask for the sale. Go ask someone you know who's like huge, Tony Robbins, get him on your team. Give me one thing.
One of those would be probably asking like the one person that makes me so nervous, or a handful of people that make me nervous, thinking that they're going to look at me differently or say,
yes.
Here
Okay.
she comes again.
Okay, let me repeat that. I'm sorry she doesn't have a mic. But thinking they're going to look at me differently. Here she comes again, and they're basically going to judge her. Okay, give her a big hand. Thank you, Nicole. You can take a seat. Big hand, big hand, big hand. Great. So what we're really afraid of oftentimes is the judgment. How many of you are afraid of looking stupid sometimes? Okay. I was very, very afraid of looking stupid. Like, no, that would be stupid. I was very, very afraid of looking stupid. How many of you were in the gifted program when you grew up? Some of you. Well, you're so amazing. Well, not that I have any issues around that, but I wanted to be in the gifted program. My friends were in the gifted program, and there was actually a way that I could try out for it because they didn't pick me, but I was like, oh, I would like to try to take that test and be in the gifted program. So I went in this room, and they asked me some questions, and one of those questions was, what's a tripod? And I froze. In 5th grade, I'm like, I know I should know what a tripod is, but I can't remember. And I'm stupid, I'm so stupid. And I felt so stupid. And I went home to my mom. She goes, how did it go? And I said, you think you got in the gifted program? You're so encouraging, Mom, thank you. I don't know, it didn't go so well because they asked me what a tripod was and I just couldn't remember. You don't know what a tripod is? Come on, tripod, Robin, 3, come on, tripod. I'm like, thanks, Mom, that's not helping. So that didn't help my issue. But then, now I tell the story and it's kind of funny. And then my husband, he thinks it's hilarious to bring it up when I go back in that pattern. Because just because I got over it once doesn't mean I get over it for the rest of my life. For some reason, we run these patterns. I didn't feel stupid yesterday, but sometimes I feel stupid again. Why is that? Because we're women. We do this. But I run that pattern. And when I do that, feel like I'm feeling stupid or I have doubts or that sort of thing, my husband just goes like this. And I go like this. So, we all are there, but I'm going to give you some tools today, specifically how you can actually bypass these limiting beliefs, because we've all been to, or at least have seen, the events where you jump up and down, and clearly I can do that. Jump up and down, get all excited, and change your state and all that stuff, and I love that stuff, but it didn't always work for me. So what you need to do is you need to get stretchy. Everybody say, get stretchy. Get stretchy. I could say stretch, but isn't this a lot cuter? I think so. Okay, good. So let's get into the Instant Expert system, okay? And you just have to remember, it will not work if you don't stretch. Exactly. It will not work if you don't stretch. Ow.